the pagan temples were failing, and the priests were all at the bars, and they were all dressed as women, getting drunk and then having sex with men.
Great. Let them do it. And what's wrong if they do that, huh? What's the problem? What's the big idea, Storytelling Ron? Why is that wrong? Give me a reason to give a single solitary about any of the bullshit you've been rambling on and on about, okay? This is barely about D&D. I haven't played a whole lot of D&D. I've done some D&D. I think it's fun. I think it depends on the group of people that you're with. It depends on a lot of things as to how much fun you're going to have. But basically, for those who, I guess, don't know if that's anybody at all, D&D, Dungeons & Dragons, is basically just a game that is make-believe with rules. It's make-believe with rules. There's some math involved. You get to pick stats for your characters. It's kind of like a video game, but not. It's a board game, right? I think most people know what D&D is, or at least have a loose concept of what it is. I'm not going to go into great detail about it because the main reason I bring it up is that some people, such as Storytelling Ron here, think that D&D is evil. Now, Storytelling Ron has 1.56k subscribers. Apparently, let me see what his most popular video is. 112k views. Okay, that's enough for me. Let's figure out why Storytelling Ron believes that D&D is evil. Let's just start.
Hello, storytellers. Storytelling Ron. This is about the D&D push of paganism upon all of us. And the woke culture is, and BLM and all that is paganism.
But nobody's forcing you to play it, man. That's just like in your imagination.
And they're pushing it upon us. And, I'm watching
BLM,
like the libertarians
the
on YouTube and everybody else like kind of like trying to fight the culture war, but they just don't get how evil.
He looks like your classic D&D dungeon master, by the way. Like, he looks like the guy where you show up to the comic store and he has, like, all the lore figured out. He knows all the best books to buy, all the best cards, all the best action figures. Like, he looks like he has intimate knowledge of D&D. And that's not an insult. I'm just saying he looks like a comic book guy. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. So aesthetically, you're already losing.
Evil this truly is, and I mean evil in the sense of love your enemy. Evil, Jesus is going to win the end, so I don't have like any animosity towards what the unchosen or the evil are doing. I really don't.
But if Jesus is going to win in the end, then why even make this video, man? You already got everything figured out. You know that Jesus is going to win, so why bother? Well, you think you're going to help him? You're going to help Jesus defeat evil? Is that what you're going to do? You already said he's going to win.
I mean, I guess I get annoyed and impatient, but that's I get it. I know why they're doing it.
Jesus didn't.
I think what I'm probably most annoyed by is what is good doing about it. What are we doing about it? What evil's going to do is evil's going to do what evil does, and evil's not going to apologize for what they do. They're going to keep doing it, and they're going to turn it around and accuse you of, as you can see, of being racist, bigoted, hatred. Projecting on you what their evil.
If you're being racist and bigoted, I will in fact accuse you of being racist and bigoted.
Evil is. Because that's what evil does. Evil will never. Or here's a question: will evil ever apologize for the evil they do? Will the Democrats ever apologize for their slavery? And no, of course not.
That goes back to a misconception about slavery because the conservatives were always the slave owners and the progressives were always against slavery. But there was a party flip because of the Southern strategy. I'm not even a history buff and I know this. There was a party flip with the Southern strategy back in the day. And so what ended up happening basically was that the Democrats were already racist pieces of shit that owned slaves. But they also didn't want working class people to have rights, I guess. And so the Republicans decided, well, why don't we appeal? Or it was the other way around. No, the Republicans were the ones who didn't want, I got this backwards. Hold on. In American politics, the Southern strategy was a Republican Party electoral strategy to increase political support among white voters in the South by appealing to racism against African Americans. So the Republicans are the ones in charge of the Southern strategy to be more racist. As the civil rights movement and dismantling of Jim Crow laws in the 1950s and 60s visibly deepened existing racial tensions in much of the southern United States, Republican politicians such as presidential candidate Richard Nixon and Senator Barry Goldwater developed strategies that successfully contributed to the political realignment of many white conservative voters in the South who had traditionally supported the Democratic Party. It also helped to push the Republican Party much more to the right relative to the 1950s. By winning all the South presidential candidates, a presidential candidate could obtain the presidency with minimal support elsewhere. If you go back and look at electoral maps, you'll notice that we have an interesting phenomenon occurring here. This is from 1900. Notice anything? I do. Red California, red New York, blue Florida, blue Texas, blue Kentucky, blue Tennessee. You know, all the states that are currently red seem to be blue somehow. And all the states that are currently blue seem to be red back in the 1900s. Almost like there was a party flip or something, you know? Just saying. There we go. Too many tabs.
They will blame Republicans or the abolitionists or whoever. And when I say Democrat, I mean the policies and beliefs of Democrats. You know, there's plenty of Democrats who don't realize what they're a part of. But I accept the Democrat Party because I want evil to actually go somewhere and say who they are. You know, I don't want them to be in the dark. I want them to actually, you know, live their life.
How accepting.
And have a place to go, which is the Democrat Party, and that's where they will go because evil wants tyranny. It wants tyranny over you. It wants to use courts, military, wars, whatever, to control you and me. They want to be tyrants. Okay. They want to be little mini.
Yeah, that's totally not what the conservatives are doing right now, man. Good point.
Gods, and they can't help themselves. They keep doing it over and over. I mean, that's what God is saying. God is saying, if you're not going to believe in me, you're going to be this. You know what the serpent said. Don't believe in God. Be your own God. And God is basically saying it's a test.
True.
And
be
you're
your
going to
own
fail.
God.
And He knows you're going to fail. Because He made you. And yes.
If He knows that I'm going to fail, then why the f did He make the test for me? That's stupid. We fire teachers who do that.
He made them that way. And He made me good. I know I've chosen
go on,
only
please.
because I love pursuing God. That's like.
You're special. You're the special
are
one.
wondering. And every time I read the Bible, I adjust myself to it.
This is great.
Realize, I got this wrong. I've got to readjust what I'm thinking and fit with God's word. So that's it. You can fail and be a sinner and mess up.
I have a question in case you watch this. If God tells you to kill somebody, do you do it? Because He told Abraham to do it, and Abraham was about to do it. And then God was like, oh, this is a prank, bro. But what if He told you to do it and it wasn't a prank? Would you do it? Would you kill like a baby? I'm just curious. Because if the answer is yes, you're a psycho.
And He'll throw that at you eventually. But if you just pursue God and you want to do things for God and you enjoy God and Jesus and Jesus is a high that you can get whenever you want. You're saved. You're a Christian.
Look, why do so many of these guys have Crusader helmets? What's up with that? Like, so many of them have Crusader helmets. Even Redeemed Zoomer has like a Crusader insignia. You know what I mean? Like a logo.
If you feel guilty, there's a good chance you are. You just gotta
warriors
refine
of God.
that. If you're angry at what I'm saying here and find me disgusting and offensive.
Yeah. It's not that you're ugly and offensive, dude. It's just that you're kind of stupid.
God's probably not for you. Made thusly. Okay. I'm going to go through this stuff here about D&D. Evil is happening. It's returning. It's paganism. It's all paganism. It's the same thing. It's been happening over and over.
Based.
And I'm just trying to get you to understand that and realize what they're doing.
Okay.
What is the solution? Church, fellowship, refining yourselves, iron sharpens iron, and rebuking evil and subduing it. Subduing it in the sense of calm down, evil. Let's live here in this world while we're mortal. Calm down, evil. Just calm the freak down. That's our
calm the freak.
That's
down.
what we need to be doing. And unfortunately, we're not doing that. What we're doing is let's get along. Let's go along. Let's get along. I'll shut up by faith, and we'll go along to get along.
Good. True.
We're doing that. We're doing that sort of. We're acting like pagans in the RPG culture. We're playing exactly like pagans. We are removing our faith.
Is he actually going to say anything at any point in the near future? Because I feel like this is a lot of people talk. Stop people talking. Just say stuff. Say things. Actual things. Say what you mean.
And playing like a pagan and being part of the pagan culture, and we're reinforcing them, and we're putting paganism up on a pedestal as in the RPG culture. We Christians are, and that's why I'm saying stop doing that. Start being an actual Christian in the game, not play morals and play good. No, play a Christian. What's a Christian do? The Great Commission, evangelism, and church planning. I know that sounds kind of boring to you, but it's not boring. It's a lot of fun, and that's what I'm. Check out all my live plays on here about with this stuff.
Anything I did at church that was fun never involved evangelizing. I'm sorry. Evangelism is like the most boring part, okay? Like there's nothing fun about it. It's just like doom and gloom shit. The only way to be saved is if you follow what I have to tell you. And then like you get like, I never evangelized, but to my understanding, like if you do go door to door evangelizing, you just get the door shut in your face all the time. Like it's not fun, okay? And I canvassed for Jamal Bowman. And I know that part wasn't the fun part, okay? Like I still did it because I thought it was a good thing to do, but that part of the job was not the fun part. So I know that evangelizing itself is not that fun.
It's a lot of fun. You're missing out. You know, you get to do all the things you do in RPGs, including.
I'm sure the community building element of it is fun, but not anything else.
Including lose it and go violent. Yes,
yeah, fabric. I'm sure the fabric on his shirt is a mixed blend. Good point.
You get to do all the things you do in RPGs, including lose it and go violent. Yes, we Christians will lose it and go violent. Yes, we will, and that's all.
Like IRL, like actually strike people. You know that's illegal, right? Like you'll go to jail for that. You're not making a good case.
Okay, because you know you're in a game too. You can explore that avenue. But
what?
At the same time,
wait, is he saying that like, oh, for the Lord RPG? I see what he's saying. So in the RPG game, okay, I see. He needs to be a little bit more clear about that. I think he's talking about in his RPG game. I'm going to be charitable and assume that's what he meant.
Time you get to evangelize and plant churches in it. Not only do you save the villagers from the dragon.
Okay, yeah,
you get to figure out why the villagers are even worshiping the dragon, or why didn't they confront the dragon? Why are they cowardly? Why
does a dragon exist? That's pagan bullshit, dude. You know that.
Feeble. Why are they? Throughout the medieval history, when Christians were around planting churches, they planted civilization, courage.
Christians don't believe in dragons, do they?
Regulating people who knew to have courage, chivalry, and cared for.
For the Lord RPG website is so ugly. Ooh, let's check it out. For the Lord RPG. Oh God, look at this. It's so not good, dude. Holy shit. I'm sorry. That is ugly as sin. It's ugly as sin. It looks like every book that I would have passed by without even a second thought in like second grade. That's what it looks like. Yeah, no. I don't think this one's for me. A TTRPG sci-fi swashbuckler of holy knights and Christian curmudgeons? Christian curmudgeons. What the f is a curmudgeon? A bad-tempered person. Interesting. Christian curmudgeon. So a bad-tempered person? Rulebook, $5. Here, what's this? Here we go. Holy Dice Rollers presents Christians in Space. Let's go. This looks sick. Amazing graphical effects. Flawless. Holy shit. Dino claws. This is your game, man? I'm sorry. It kind of looks like shit. I try to have respect for people's artistic work, but this... It doesn't look good. I'm sorry. It doesn't look good. Like, I want to have respect for it, but I just don't like the guy, and I don't like his project and what he's saying. So, like, I don't care. I'm sorry, man. It does not look good.
And charity. And, there's a big book called Communion, which I...
Are the dice holy or the rollers? Who knows?
I have over there, but he's saying, Tom Holland, the book Communion, he's an atheist, but his whole thing is he admits that Christianity is what built what we all love and have today. But he says
that's not true. Then I don't.
All the historians have now conceded that the pagan temples of the back in the day were not conquered by Christians. They were dilapidated. They had gone into ruin.
I just don't care.
Because everyone went to Christianity because the Christians were so productive and evangelist and planting churches.
No, come on. This is white supremacy bullshit. Even I know this is white supremacy bullshit. It's not that like they naturally saw that like Christ was the way. It's that Christians were savages, okay? They came in, they said, no, our God is the one true God, and if you don't believe that, we're going to kill you. Yeah, they were savages, straight up.
And they were charity. They brought in charity. That was something new. Charity was brand completely
new. Nobody ever heard of giving things to other people who don't have things. before the Christians came. They never thought about that.
New thing. And they were helping each other. And the pagan temples were now, all the priests of the pagan temples were all like trans, and were all getting drunk. They didn't care. Their temples were falling apart. That's what happened. And today, the churches are not engaging the community anymore.
That's pseudo-historical bullshit, dude.
And going to politics on that. But politically, they're being cornered in the back, pushed into the back, and especially in the Democrat policies. Churches used to be the primary charities of the communities, but now the Democrats have used the government to...
Yeah, that's because they owned everything. Like churches were the ones in charge of everything. They're the ones who had the ultimate control of everything. If you were excommunicated by the church, your ass was grass. Like, you were done. You were donezo. Okay, there was no helping you. And so that's how they maintained control for so long. Yeah, altruism didn't exist before Christ, yeah. Pagans were trans and got drunk? I'm converting. Yeah, it sounds based. Did he miss the part where the practitioners of my faith had snakes forced down their throats by Christians? Oh, that's pretty cool. The guy is making me want to convert to Acetro, like my Viking ancestors before we got strong-armed to Christianity. Yeah, exactly. Christians were savages. Sorry.
To be primary charities of the communities, but now the Democrats have used the government to be the charities of the communities.
That's called having a good government, okay? That's not a charity. That's called having a solid government system in place so that people have their needs met, which is what a government is supposed to provide. Needs, okay? They're supposed to provide for the needs of their citizens. That's the whole point of the government. If the government can't do that, then the government doesn't deserve to be the government. Hey, that's why we got rid of kings and lordships and shit like that. That's why we have democracy now, all right? At least to some extent.
And push the churches out, or sold them out, bought them out. And that's
push them all
wrong.
out.
The churches need to fight back on that, on those laws and regulations that make it impossible for them to be charities, because they'll get sued. They'll get, the government is allowing so many like regulations now that if you don't follow.
No, he's literally, so when you get to the nitty gritty of his argument, what he's literally saying is the government is providing charity to people, and that's bad. Why is it bad? The only reason it would be bad is if you think that it's bad for the government to have control over resources that they can hand out to people as they see fit. He wants the church to have that control. Okay, so this is a matter of control, not necessarily charity and giving out resources equitably. It's
all these
disgusting.
regulations, you will get shut down. And
good point, Travis.
That's what the churches need to fight against. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, that's another path. All right, so let's just go. I'm going to start attacking the D&D thing here. I didn't even prepare this,
Finally.
but this one's a little better.
I feel like we're going to watch this
so
for
this is
20
just
minutes already.
On Not the Beat. I'm thankful. I'm glad that they put this together, so I didn't have to. And I've seen plenty of other libertarians. Some are kind of Christian-y, but fighting this.
The orcs are Mexican now. Hasbro and D&D LARPers felt that orcs were racist because all they could see were black people. Guess they fixed that by actually making them racially coded this time. I don't care. Can the orcs just be orcs? Like, they don't have to be racially coded. They don't, like, orcs are cool, man. I think orcs are cool. I don't know, like, just, who cares? They can be bad, they can be good. Who gives a fuck?
This, like Grumps here.
They can be Mexican, they can be black,
but they don't
white.
Understand the source of what this all is. The source of this is paganism. The source of this is anti-God, pushing anything against God.
What?
And this whole thing with them, they bring up like the D&D people bring up like wheelchairs and handicapped. And it's like, have you been to our church? I mean, have you been to a church? Apparently not, because we have entire groups catering to the disabled in wheelchairs and bringing them in and hanging out with them
and praying over them and telling them, hey, we're going to heal you. We're going to heal you so that you don't need the wheelchair anymore, right? That's a thing that like mega churches do. They just lie to people and say, yeah, we're going to heal you. Bring us your sick and elderly and whatever, and we'll heal them. No need for modern medicine, of course, right? Yeah, we're the savages, though.
And going in and serving them. We have like a whole ministry on this, and it's like the pagans are like, oh, we care about the disabled, and no,
and also like you're just upset that other people are also doing what you say the church is doing. Shouldn't that be a good thing? Shouldn't that be a W for D&D? Like if they're inclusive toward the disabled, that's good. You should think that's good. Oh my God, the D&D people are being accepting of people with disabilities. That's a bad thing because our church does that, and our church should be the only ones to do that. What? No. If I think something that I do is good, I think something that other people do is, like, if other people do the same thing, I also think that's good. Like giving, providing for people who are disabled.
It's like we Christians are again rolling our eyes.
Why?
You guys, when you see Christians and you see that we're like totally like just dumbfounded, it's because
got half of that word right.
we're dumbfounded because of how dumb you are. We found the dumbness. You're preaching all these like good things. We're just like we've been doing this forever. Why?
Like what? Like you've been doing inclusivity of trans and gay people forever, right? And you've definitely been providing for handicapped people and not telling them, well, it's because God hates you. You see, you can't walk because God decided that you are a degenerate and you have bad blood, is what it is. Your father's committed some sin and now you have bad blood. So, sorry, man. It's just, same with cancer patients, right? Sorry, man. You must have done something pretty f***ed up. Like, that shit happened. Like, when bad things happen to people, they literally were just like, oh, you must have done something bad. That was the Christian way, man. Okay? That sucks.
What? That we're dumbfounded. Okay.
No, you're not inclusive. Sorry. Like, in general,
so, they're turning orcs into these woke trans cultural appropriation things.
See, he's doing ridiculous. It now.
I don't really care. So this gay dwarves, I like Niana. I listen to his their clownfish videos quite a bit, just for the D&D and Disney culture. And I do a lot of things like walking dog.
Also, who's saying that these two are gay? You just read that in.
Dog, work. I do a bit of woodwork. So I like to listen to stuff a lot. So. As we all do. So this is, gay dwarves, and they have their gay tattoos of each. Wow, this is just amazing. So this is D&D, and you guys are still playing D&D. You guys are still.
I mean, if the tattoos indicate they're gay, great. I still don't care.
Fixing with that, and I'm telling you, stop. Get away from it. I have a Christian role-playing game. I don't know. I'm tooting my own. If there were others, great. But, maybe Holy Land, I think is a Christian one.
To get these lesbian elves to stop yelling about the patriarchy. What? It's a still picture. It's a still image. How can you even tell they're lesbian? This is my point. Like, I see this picture, and you know what I see? Two girls. One, is that a girl right there? I can't even tell. Some guy playing the banjo in the back, or the lute or whatever it's called. They look like they're having a good time. Okay, why are you reading lesbianism into it? Like, okay, what if they are? Who cares? You might as well tell me they're left-handed. So what? Oh yeah, that's another thing that Christians love to beat people over back in the day, is if you're left-handed. They said that left-handed is from the devil. So there's another point against you since I brought it up.
That's it. I don't really know of any other. And Holy Land is more fantasy, so maybe check that one. And it's more. I think it's got a lot more deep rules than mine does. I had it years ago, but I don't have it anymore. But I mean, check them out. Holy Land something. Holy Lands. Just look that up. I think that's a lot more fantasy than what my stuff is right now. I plan on doing Fantasy 1, but I'm still delving into the Dark Ages one.
Do a fantasy one. I'm sure it will not read as Christian at all. If you read Christianity into a fantasy world, it just ends up becoming like the most contrived bullshit ever. It usually has a very basic bland storyline, probably some racist and sexist elements in it. That's always what ends up happening.
Lesbian elves here, wheelchair, whatever. Woman paladin, cool. Hillary Clinton paladin. Yeah, I don't.
It does kind of look like Hillary Clinton. I'll give him that. But who cares?
I don't erase men in my game. Men are men, women are women in For the Lord RPG. Hardcore.
You said Pokemon, go knight yourself.
If you're a woman in the game, you're not going to go running around being a paladin or a knight. It's going to be a waste of time.
Why?
As a character. You're just not going to. It's not going to work for you. It'll work for a little. And I don't even put in the hardcore rules that will break down.
Oh, he didn't even come up with that joke. It literally was the tweeter.
Woman. Physically. I remember reading about a woman who was trying to get into special forces, trying her hardest to get in. And she wrote an open letter saying, I have been misled. Because she could compete with men for one day. And then her whole body was racked with pain. With all her...
As would yours be, okay? Don't sit here and tell me that you think you can compete with that woman in any physical competition. Not even I could, okay? My max bench press was 375 pounds about 2 years ago. And then after that, I quit working out, and now I'm a soft boy, okay? I'm a soft, pudgy boy now, all right? And that's fine. I'm a soft, pudgy boy who crochets, and I'm fine with that. I don't need to be some jacked muscles ripping out of my my shirt, all the time. I don't need to be a guy who can run 5 miles without even breaking a sweat. I don't need to be that. And you're certainly not that, okay? If it came to a competition between me and you, like a raw strength and endurance competition, I would beat your ass 5 miles to Sunday, dude. What the are you talking about? You want to talk about physical fitness? Well, I say that girls can be way more physically fit than men if they put their minds to it. I'm way more fit than you are, so what does that say, man? Okay? Sounds like I win.
Training, all whatever. And then the next day they got up and did it again, and she could not continue. The men did it every day. She couldn't. She could barely do it once a day, per week or whatever.
Presumably.
So imagine that as a warrior or whatever. That's ridiculous. Yeah, women can do things a little bit, but they do not have the ligaments, strength, joint strength that men have. They're completely designed differently. By
ligaments. You see, women don't have ligaments.
So when you see women like in the Star Wars Acolyte or whatever, and they show them all being tough and stuff, it's silly. It's so silly.
The main difference between boys and girls is that girls don't have ligaments. Did you guys know that?
Guys look silly. We have the dumbfounded look on our faces. You look silly. That's just tell them. We Christian men, you got to tell them.
You know what would make you look silly? Go try and fight a woman in the what is it? UFC, mixed MMA? Yeah, MMA. Go try to find a woman in MMA. See how well you do. My brother actually, I don't know if he still thinks this. He's a smart guy, okay? He's smart. I love my brother very much. But he actually said one time, a couple of years ago, that he thinks he could beat a woman in the UFC. And I'm like, you're out of your mind, dude. Like, you're out of your mind. There is no shot that you would be able to beat even like the smallest, weakest woman in the UFC. You couldn't do it. I guarantee you. And even my dad was like, yeah, son. And my dad's conservative as shit, okay? And he's like, yeah, son, I don't think that you could do it. And so even my dad did not give him his blessing.
And we men are superior to women in most every way.
Go fight one.
We are. My wife knows it. I know it. But
that's not true, by the way. That's such a bullshit line. I'm so tired of hearing how superior I am to women. If you're just naturally more gifted. F you, dude. That's disgusting. That is literal misogyny, okay? You can say it's not, but it is. That is textbook misogyny.
And we are the leaders of our women. We are the leaders. And what is leadership?
I would lead you, bitch. Okay? Why don't you show up and we'll see who leads who.
Defined by a Christian. You all should know this. Service. Pagans don't define leadership as service. Pagans define leadership as a dictator. They want to rule. Leadership for them is dictatorship.
Wait, you just said that you lead the women. What are you talking about, man? You're the one talking about dictatorship and ownership over women. What? Excuse you. You're making the pagans sound pretty cool at this point, my guy. Compared to you.
For us men, for Christian men, our leadership is service. We serve our women.
Oh, totally.
The most important thing to me is...
Dog, you haven't served a woman since high school, all right?
My wife. And she is annoyed by it.
Guaranteed. If that.
The most important... I am the leader of my wife. I am the leader of the family. I am the leader of her, and she knows it.
I feel so bad for her.
Worship the very ground she walks on. I worship the very ground she walks on. And not like an idol or anything. I'm just saying... I'm using hyperbole.
It sounds like
here,
idolatry, buddy.
Everything I do is for her. That's a Christian man leading his wife and being superior physically, mentally. I can focus better than her. I'm not still,
Oh, my focus is dog shit. I guarantee you guys, Katie can focus better than I can.
Supposedly, I have situational awareness, definitely. She does not have situational awareness.
It's just so weird that you got to sit here and like list your character traits. You know what I mean? Like your whatever it's called, your physical capabilities that makes you better than her. Why did you marry her? Go marry a guy if they're so great. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like you say that they suck so bad. Go marry a guy then. What?
Worship the ground she walks on. Okay, so yeah. So here's a bunch of comments. I didn't even The D&D, the 6E Paladin looks like she might only turn the undead who have information on white water. The new Paladin doesn't actually kill anyone. They all just commit suicide under questionable circumstances. What? She has kingdom secrets in her private scroll cupboard. I have information that will lead to the rest of 88 smite damage. Okay.
These are all just
She casts a race on her servers. The physical component is a bit of bleach and a rag or something. Used to speak to undead to gather votes. So when we're allowing pagans to run the society, run the government, they will allow
Joe Biden's a Catholic, man.
Bow and nod along to the craziness and the evil that Democrats do. If you allow paganism to run everything, which we are allowing today, that's why it's getting so crazy.
He hasn't actually named anything yet.
When you have Christians in there, which we used to have, and Christianity used to be the level, the standard, the minimal standard of our governance.
This is such bullshit. I'm sorry. He knows as well as the rest of us that the United States was not founded on Christian fundamentals, okay? The United States was founded on separation of church and state. That's why the didn't want to be part of Great Britain anymore. They wanted religious freedom. It was, I think, like different sects of Protestantism, if I'm not mistaken. Like they literally left the people who came here on the Mayflower left Great Britain because of a religious persecution. Okay, they then proceeded to persecute the Native Americans in basically every way. So what goes around comes around. But my point is, the reason that we're even here in the first place is because of Christian persecution. Okay, we were founded secular. Yeah, he went to theocracy.
He's not even that in the 80s and in the 90s it started changing, but in the 80s, 70s, there used to be this minimal standard of Christianity in the government, and thusly, and in the media too. The media, well, they were fake, but they understood.
I don't care. I don't want that.
Thusly, honesty there was an attempt at honesty. There was an attempt at being lawful. There's an attempt at. Now there was evil. There was corrupt leaders. There was leaders who did this and did this.
Talk about how the Catholic Church treated kids, like talk about how priests treat kids, talk about that. Let's hear it.
Did that, but they were under a strict, they knew about getting caught or about being exposed, or then they had to tamper down on whatever they were doing, whatever their end goal was.
Yeah.
Or they would get caught and get arrested, or, be exposed and be publicly
arrested
humiliated
for what?
or
For what
judged
specifically?
Today, that's not the case. Today, there's 10 people, 20 people, 30 people, all know the same thing, and they all willingly hide it, willingly cover it up. The whistleblowers are few and far between because there's just not enough Christianity in there. There's not enough truth seekers. All that are in there are agenda seekers. Their agenda is more important than the truth.
Like every mother in the government right now, in the United States government, is a Christian. Like almost all of them. There are exceptions. There's some Jewish people here and there. There's people of various other religious denominations, Muslim, whatever. But like the overwhelming majority of them are Christian. What are you talking about?
For Christians, the truth is more important. If you're a Christian and you lie to get somewhere, other Christians will go, I know he's doing good, but he's lying about, what's going on. So
you're in Nazi Germany. Should you lie to keep the Jewish person hidden in your basement from getting found? Oh no, that'd be wrong, right? Like lying is wrong. So let's not do that. Let's just yes, right this way, officer. Oh, I was hiding them, but I now that you've shown up, I can't possibly lie to you. Like, this is stupid. What are you talking about? Like, if lying makes the world better, which it can do, you should lie. I'm just saying.
We can't really let that happen. Even if that person is doing good, if they're lying to get there, it's not right. We should not allow that.
I disagree.
And that's the way Christians are.
I think that politicians often do lie, and it's very bad, but that's not because they're not Christian. That's because they're a bunch of disgusting rich freaks. They only have their own self-interest at heart. Just like Joe Biden right now, trying to lie about how cognitively functional he is. I'm sorry, the dude's declining, and he's lying about it to keep power. He's still Christian. He is a devout Catholic, my man. Okay? And yet here he is lying. So what's up with that? Clearly, Christians can lie.
We want the truth before an advantage or something. And pagans, we'll just take the lie. We'll take
an advantage, like the Nazi not finding the Jewish person in your basement.
Advantage. 100 of us, yeah, let's all just take the advantage. We'll keep the lie, take the advantage, and get our agenda. Christians, like 100 of us.
What's the agenda? What's the agenda? I want to know. If the agenda is good things, then lie for it. That's fine.
We have a lie for the advantage. Let's keep. Oh boy.
Christians famous for not lying.
10 or 20 of them are going to start saying this is wrong. But today with the media, how Biden is after the debates, they're all like exposing him as being unable to continue. That we knew that for years now, that he was like that. And to us,
it's not because he's not Christian. He's literally Catholic.
This has been going on for years. He's not running the country. That's my opinion as a citizen. He's not running the country. Someone else is. I think it's Obama.
Yeah, the SCOTUS.
I think it's him and them writing the executive orders, planning all this stuff out, and Biden is just while he's on vacation, they're just coming up.
Yeah, meanwhile, they literally overturned Roe v. Wade, dude. Yeah, I'm sure that the Democrats did that, right?
With all the executive orders. And that's, to me, I'm pretty sure that's unconstitutional. That's illegal. He should be deciding what the executives order are and signing them. I mean, I get he has a cabinet, but that should be open. Who's on that cabinet? Do you even know who's in his cabinet?
Is this still about D&D? I thought this was supposed to be about D&D. Like, I thought we were supposed to be talking about why D&D is evil. You're just people talking. Come on, man.
I mean, right now, like,
get to
who
the
the
point.
Individuals are that are kind of there.
You're rambling. You sound like my grandpa.
I literally don't even know who they are. I haven't. No one's
my
said anything.
flat
Not
earth
even
uncle
conservative
even.
media. Like, where's the investigation into that?
POV. You're at Thanksgiving and your insane conspiracy theorist uncle has some words to share with you.
I mean, right now, like, who the individuals are that are kind of there.
Boy, he is ready to talk to you.
I literally don't even know who they are. I haven't. No one's said anything. Not even conservative media. Like, where's the investigation into that? All right, let's get back to this. Boy, I'm going off on.
Has he never heard of Google?
Here.
Google sucks now. Apparently,
let's get back
better.
to this video, which is like,
okay.
What the heck? So this video here is, come on. So this guy, I just looked him up really quick, but Daniel Quasar makes these. Look at this. He's just like here, pushing this religion, and this is a religion.
Those are pretty.
This is a religion. Libertarians are fighting the world closer.
Here, wait. Dungeons and Dragons, Progress, Pride, 7-piece polyhedral. Let's look that up.
We have these pride dice.
They
They come from Serious Dice. Tell me how these dice came about.
My thing when I work on different pieces, whether that's with a company or my
so
own stuff,
pretty.
is that I want something that is a little bit more than the traditional.
It's a free show right
thing.
there.
And so let's take the idea of it being a pride set and add in subtle things into it that give it a little bit different. Like, for instance, each dice is the color of one of the traditional pride flag stripes. So instead of them all being like one color, like a lot of dice are, where they all kind of like match each other, they're different in that sense, and how everybody in the queer community are all different
and yet there's
pieces
a
of
uniformity to it.
a pie that we call the queer, the LGBTQIA plus community. And then the
Okay, they're very pretty. If you want to watch the rest of that video, that's from Dungeons and Dragons from 7 days ago, and it looks really cool.
But they're fighting a religion. This is not a philosophy or a. It's a religion because it's government. They want government involved to force you to believe in it. They want you to force you to believe in it. Otherwise, you will be punished. And it has a flag. It has symbols.
Who's punishing you for not believing, quote unquote, in LGBT stuff? Like, who's really punishing you? Like, honestly, like, what's happening in your life that like impedes your like anything about what you do? You know, I don't understand.
Symbols is a religion, and we need to start calling it out as a religion, because they're pretending that Christianity is,
because our religion's better, and we're at war with every other religion all the time, and we should crusade them and force them into our way of thinking. Right, man. Like that's what it comes down to. Like, what? Okay, religious freedom. There you go. Okay, LGBTQ. It's a religion. Religious freedom. Okay, and I have religious freedom, dipshit. What are you talking about? Internet dead theory is real. To an extent, yeah. It sucks.
a religion, and then this is not a religion. So thusly, they get to put it in government. Government gets to push it. Government is pushing this, and this is ridiculous.
The government pushes Christianity all the time, or at least they have historically. They're doing it less so.
I would just say,
except for the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which was a very religious push.
let's just bring Christianity back in the government and just force it on everybody, like Christian nationalists. Let's just force Christianity.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if they're doing this, let's just do it too. I'm at that kind of point where I'm like, but of course, if we.
I would love to have you on, man. Why don't you hop onto my live stream? We'll have an honest discussion about what the things are that you believe and why you believe that it's like the Democrats that are like ruining your life somehow, or like the gay and trans people ruining your life. So what the has a gay person ever done against you, man? Like, let's be real. What has a gay or trans person ever done that has impacted your life in a meaningful way? Like, let's talk about it. Let's just talk about it. I'm open to having a discussion, man. Seriously, I haven't had a good discussion in a while. I'm just trying to talk to some people. That's it. Let's hear it.
We had Christianity in the government and forced it on everyone. Guess what? Our forcing on everyone is we wouldn't force it on anyone because we're not supposed to.
Oh, certainly not.
We can't compel you to believe in
Not on your kids, certainly, right? Now when you evangelize and tell people they're going to hell unless they... Like, it's literally a threat. People who evangelize typically are threatening you with hell. They're saying, well, when you die, you're going to eternally suffer unless you, like, come to Christ. That's a threat.
Christianity. What we can compel you to do, though, is have a modicum of freaking morality in your life so that you're not going to be doing sexualizing children, sacrificing children, sexualizing children, sacrificing.
Did you say sacrificing children and sexualize? Dude, that's literally the Catholic Church. I'm sorry. Like, it's the Christians that sexualize children, not LGBTQ people.
Children. That, we're just going to say no to that. But today, both are happening in the government. Both are happening in the culture. Sacrificing children.
Like how?
Sexualizing children.
What? Is he talking about abortion? He's got to be talking about abortion. Hey, abortion is a medical procedure, often medically necessary, okay? It literally saves lives. Abortion saves lives. F you.
Happening in the culture now. At the San Francisco Pride Parade, sexualizing children.
Guess what else saves lives? Accepting trans and gay kids. Did you know that? Did you know that trans and gay kids often kill themselves? Did you know that? Because that happens. Guess why that happens? Because dumb dipshits like you got to push your beliefs onto them and say, well, actually being gay is bad. And you're being a sinful piece of shit and you're going to go to hell unless you not do that. You want kids to kill themselves. Storytelling Ron wants kids to kill themselves.
Sacrificing children. What I don't know. What else am I? What can I do? The only thing I can do is say, "Hey, it's happening. We need to stop it." Churches
but we're
need to wake
sacrificing kids.
So they're pushing these pride things, and then of course, this doofus guy. Boy, look at that wonderful smile he's got. I know I'm being this guy. I'm like, who is it? What is this? What he talks about how wonderful D&D is. He looks really unhealthy too.
Unlike you, a shining picture of health. You slimy.
Who am I
to say? Shiny. What
okay,
the
so
on
there's
your
a video again, but he's got like 675 subscribers on YouTube. I mean, I'm low. Look at this. Why are they? Who? Okay, here he is. Okay, so he's got this page. He's done Pacific Northwest College of Art, Portland, Oregon. Okay, that makes sense. BFA in Communication Design, Multimedia Focus, Special Achievements, Progress Pride Flag, and Victoria and Albert Museum. Progress Pride Flag flown permanently on federal lands. Stonewall National Monument, New York, New York.
Cool.
Why is a Progress Pride Flag flown on a government national monument? Progress Pride Flag.
I think that's fine.
NASA headquarters, Washington, D.C. Why is there a Progress Pride Flag on any national whatever?
Because gay and trans people exist. And as long as they exist, they're a welcome member of our society, man. Okay? That's what's called living in a civilized society.
This is like not...
So you.
This is a flag is a flag. I don't know what this is. Okay, whatever.
It's symbol. If you see a progress flag on somebody's front lawn, guess what that means? That means that if you're a gay or a trans person and you go knocking on their door for something, they're not going to discriminate against you for being gay or trans, which is something that often happens in society, unfortunately. Is that a piranha plant? Oh, that's cute as shit. Okay? Displaying that symbol means I don't care how many other people think that you are degenerate. I don't. When you see somebody with a progress flag, you know what that means? That means that they'll include you, despite whether you're trans or gay or whatever. Doesn't matter. They'll include you. So I'm fine with that being on government grounds and symbols.
Progress Pride Flag 2018. What is going on with this? Why does he get this in any national thing at all? A flag, a piece of cloth, usually rectangular, of distinctive color and design, used as a symbol, standard, signal, or emblem. National or other allegiance as symbolized by a flag. This is an allegiance to something. Obviously, it is an allegiance because of the way they treat it.
It's an allegiance to tolerance of gay and trans people.
This flag is a conquering of the land, a declaration of occupation. And what the heck?
That's fine.
What is going on?
If your land does not allow for the existence of gay and trans people, I'm fine with like occupation for the purpose of making sure that they allow gay and trans people to exist. That's fine.
Here, so what am I even talking about here?
Gay
I'm just like
occupation.
tired. D&D.
Yeah, what are you talking
What
about?
are you
Good-
doing?
good question.
Okay, we all know what they're doing. They're woke. They're pushing paganism.
Okay, go down the list of talking points in my head, right? NPC talking points. So we went through that one, right? Got to circle back around to wokeism and pushing paganism, and yeah, got it.
So are most other RPGs. And so I'm just trying to get you guys to realize that this is happening at a breakneck speed now.
This is barely about D&D.
And we need to get off of it. And I'm saying also, just because of the joy of having these games, we don't even need to go to like the OSR old school games. We don't need to like, oh, let's return to those. But they are the reason that this next generation is the way it is, because you still have
Which is
the
what?
role-playing games are still pagan. They make us think paganism. They make us explore the paganism and forget our Christianity. And they make us forget our church history.
Good,
and they
I
make
don't
us
care.
forget things that we should remember and live and relive and do and be part of.
Things like what?
And that's kind of what I'm going after. Look, and again, I don't hate these things. I don't hate, especially, I hate the new stuff, but I don't hate the people that are just trying to make it a game and have fun. I get that. I'm just trying to give you
That's all
something
it
like to
is.
really contemplate, think
It's
about,
just a
pray
game,
on,
man.
and try. And you got to try this because, or take the evangelism church planning part out of it in mine and put it in yours. I don't care, whatever. But evangelism and church planning needs to be part of our psyche now.
Right.
I do think church history should be part of it as well, but I personally have to still go back and study
That's
more
so
of that.
boring.
So this book right here, I don't recommend reading this, but The Hammer Witches is the beginning of the witch trials, and the guys that wrote this
There's one of the
back
books
in the
for those
day,
who are
14th
asking.
century-ish, were studying what the heck the pagans were doing because it was getting worse and worse.
Do we keep
Let
going?
me
This
just, I'm
is
just going to read a
incredibly
little
boring.
bit here.
I feel like I've gotten all I can out of
Question
this.
6 pertains to sorcerers cooperating with demons. And this is all they believe this is going on. Pertains to sorcerers cooperating with demons. How is it that women are found to be tainted with this
Sorcerers.
heresy more often than men are? What sort of women are involved more than other is explained in the following 5 questions. All right. This is written in 14th century. I got to, I'm going to do the Gothic RPG setting using this same game, and it's going to be primarily kind of focused on this kind of stuff. So it's very scary and very adulty, but it happened, and it's been happening, and it's gruesome and wretched. In here, I'm just gonna. This is not as wretched.
What
but
is
this
he reading? Is this like a piece of fiction? Like what is he reading? Is it a D&D book? Bro's waffling. Can we stop? We still have 12 more minutes of this shit. I feel like he's just gonna go over the talking points like over and over. I'll give him till 26 minutes.
Only a few more sentences here. Question 7 is whether sorcerers are able to, through the virtue of demons, to turn the mind. Oh, by the way, this is page, just so you know, page 82, I think. 82 out of. This is
Get to the
500 pages,
point!
600 pages. Anyway.
Edit your videos at least, man. I'm live. And even I edit my YouTube content when I upload it. Thank you, Dubsy. Okay? Get to the point!
Page 82. Page 81, 82. Question 7 is whether sorcerers are able, through the virtue of demons, to turn the minds of humans to irregular hatred or love. Irregular hatred or love, which is a lust about, and about the way to propound this topic in sermons to the congregation. That's probably to help warn them. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the context of that is. But anyway, question 8 is whether, as far as the topic in sermons to the congregation, is he trying to warn them, or are they actually doing those sermons to get them to believe that in the church? Question 8 is whether they are able to impede the power of procreation, the sexual act, with a certain incidental question as to why this act is sometimes impeded with respect to one person and not another. So these questions, by the way, are then further delved into later on. So he's just summarizing what he's going to be talking about. So sexual acts, they're obviously focusing on that, or focusing on lust and sexuality. Question 9 is whether they take away male, check this out, is whether they take away male members through a magical illusion, as if these members have been torn from the body, with certain other related difficulties. So they're trans. This is in 14th century
Who
paganism,
cares?
witchcraft and Satanism. They are turning men into women. And he's trying to figure out
Who
what's
cares?
going on
What
here.
if they want that?
They need to investigate this.
Like, obviously you shouldn't do that against their will, but if they consent to that, then sure, fine, I don't care. It's their body.
And this is like prevalent across the culture. And I even read where a missionary went to China for the first time, and he saw how many trans there were. He couldn't believe how many, like it was just common.
Trans.
So trans was huge, and the Roman guy I just read in the Tom Holland's book was pissed off that the pagan temples were failing, and the priests were all trans at the bars, and they were all dressed as women, getting drunk and then having sex with men.
Great. Let them do it. And what's wrong if they do that, huh? What's the problem? What's the big idea, storytelling Ron? Why is that wrong? Give me a reason to give a single solitary about any of the bullshit you've been rambling on and on about, okay? This is barely about D&D. This is barely about D&D. Like, what is this, man? Come on. It's so stupid and sensationally boring.
10 is whether they're, okay, this is
But since you got me worked up, I'll give you a little
whether
longer.
they are able to change humans into the shapes of animals with another incidental difficulty. Furries.
Okay.
They've already, nothing new here.
But that's in Harry Potter too, man. That's called transfiguration in Harry Potter. Yeah, I know my Harry Potter lore. All right. It's transfiguration. People turning into animals has been a thing since like people were cavemen. That's like always been a thing. Is the idea, the concept of people turning, like it's werewolves, right? That's one. Vampires even, those are people that turn into bats. Like, what are you talking about? This is all like, it doesn't have to be furries, man. The fact that that's where your mind jumps says more about you than it does about anybody else. So stupid.
Question 11. Okay, is about midwife sorceresses who kill fetuses in the womb and outside in various ways.
I don't care. They're fetuses.
Abortion. So they're trying to stop these abortions, child sacrifices, sexualizing them. The trans.
Where did it say sexualizing children?
Why they are doing this, or how is it they're able to do all this stuff? They don't even know. He's literally saying we have to. This is like a McCarthy moment, this is a moment where he's exposing the communist Marxist
abortion is literally in the Bible.
Going on, you know. And he's obviously been hated throughout history. The witch trials have been judged as hateful.
Communist Marxist paganism.
That's what's been going on throughout the culture everywhere. And
isn't that literally just what the Nazis said? Like communist Marxist paganism? Like that's just shit that like the Nazis would say to justify like rounding up the Jews and the gays.
In the cities, the paganism had gotten so bad.
He just validated furries with medieval science. Huge furry W.
That he had to say, hey, this is an issue. You know, we need to. This, I mean, it's all like under, you know,
what's the issue?
Way and in the dark
Why is
corners
it an
of the alleys and
issue?
stuff. But he's like trying to expose it to the churches back then. That we need to wake up.
The only thing you've brought up is sacrificing children, which is what you call abortion because you're caveman brain, and sexualizing kids because you think that saying that gay and trans kids exist is sexualizing them, which again makes you a caveman brain. All right? You suck, man. You're boring as shit, and I'm done with your video. I'm so done with this, man. It's just so stupid. Next segment, moving on. If you want to talk to me, you can hit me up using a variety of ways to contact me, okay? I would love to have a discussion with you. But besides that, I'm sorry, man. Your content's boring, and you're just talking, man. You're just saying words. You're just saying words that you think sound good, and then staring at the camera sometimes to like drive your point in, and that's all you do. Okay, you're making the world an objectively worse place with your ideology, and I don't care if you think that my quote-unquote ideology is a quote-unquote religion. It's objectively better than yours. So go fuck yourself. Have a good day. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more, hit the notification bell to be notified when I upload. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy what I do, I really appreciate any financial help that I can get. Go to youtube.com/AlecGunterTTV/join. You got some awesome benefits, such as seeing early videos, awesome emotes that you can use in the comments of YouTube videos, and a sweet badge next to your name. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd really appreciate if you join. It is cheaper than the cost of a blowjob from your mom. So with all that being said, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.